Yo, what's up, her? You guys ready to have a real conversation this morning? As if we don't have a real conversation every morning, right? Yeah, it's about to go down. It's about to go down, people. So let me hit the share button myself. All right. Let me get out of there. Negus Royce, what's going on, King? All right, if you will, hit the share button for me. Let's get into some real talk this morning. College or no college? You sending your kids to college or not? What say ye? Is college really worth it? Or no? Good morning. Go ahead and hit the share button if you have not already. We're going to get ready to get this thing crack-a-lacking. Got some cool insights that I want to share. Let me do this so that I can make sure I can see everything. There we go. Who do we have joining us this morning? Let me know where you're from. Of course, you want to shout out the name of your business and or brand. Just makes sense, right? Because if you ain't shouting you out, who is the question I always like to ask. Come on, people. Let's get the stream shared and in circulation. I don't have a whole lot of time to wait and for the stream to build on this one. So we're going to go ahead and get it started. We're going to see if some people are going to hop on, man. A lot of people don't like to have this conversation and this discussion. And I want to hear from everybody this morning, man. What are your thoughts on, a college education? Is it valuable? Is it needed? Is it necessary? Are you sending your kids to college? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Are you sending your kids to college? Of course, I will give you my thoughts as we go throughout the show. Cedric Jenkins, what's going on, my friend? Good morning, Black World, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It's truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you live and direct from the Black Wealth Movement Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri, where we teach people practical, proven strategies. We teach you how to minimize your taxes, eliminate your debt, free up the money you need to start investing. And then we also provide investment education and perspective on how to get double-digit returns on your money, man. We ain't playing, y'all. If you want to build wealth and you have not already partnered with the Black Wealth Movement or anybody else in my econ you're missing out on a wonderful opportunity to change your family's financial legacy forever. That's exactly what we're doing for people all over the country. If you want more information, inbox me or text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Again, text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. And do me a huge favor. If you're checking this out on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We are going to top 2,000 subscribers here very, very soon. We've been trying to do it for the last 2 months, but we got to get this thing done, man. So go ahead, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you interact with the show. I can see your comments when you comment. They scroll live, so you can interact with me live. But also make sure that you subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, whether you like the show, the topic. We're talking about college education, man, and I know there's a divide. Many people are split right down the middle. Some people have wonderful college experiences and they believe wholeheartedly in college. Some people not so much, right? So we're going to talk about that. My Facebook friends and family, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the share button. And here's what you want to do. Going forward, you want to hit the like button, y'all, because you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start randomly choosing a person who likes the show and giving away a free, I shouldn't say free, it's not 100% free, but pretty close to free luxury getaway from one of 10 different locations. So make sure you hit the like button on this post, and I'm going to see if I can randomly select a listener to Talking Money in the Morning live and start doling out some free some free travel for you guys. Just my way of saying thanks for supporting and rocking with your boy, and also to get the engagement up on the show. Today's show is also brought to you by the Financial Health Mentor Bookstore. I don't have Monetize My Life up here. My wife came and stole it. But if you want to support the show, you can also go and grab my books at books.financial health mentor. I sell them in bundles because not only do you want these books, you want coaching, and you also want to access Monetize My Life Academy. We do live trainings. There's all courses in there for branding, marketing, email marketing, using social media, using video marketing, mindset. There's, live webinars, everything that you can think of. We've got it covered if you want to build your business and grow it to the next level. So inbox me for the details on the books, or go to books.financialhealthmentor.com. Today we're talking about college education. It's let me do this. Let me give you my disclaimer first. And I do this subject from time to time, right? But what I want to make sure that comes across is I'm not the bitter guy bashing college because I didn't have the fortitude to finish a college degree, right? I started college. I tell people I officially dropped out after the second semester, but I checked out after the first 2 weeks. It was just, I just wasn't that dude, was too concerned about living life, got caught up in running the streets and a whole bunch of other things that got in the way of me finishing a degree. So when I talk about college from the perspective that I talk about it and whether or not it's a valuable thing for us to pursue, especially to send our children at this stage, given what we know about the workforce, about what we know about technology and information, the question is that a smart, sound decision, right? So I do not have a college degree. Let me know on the chat on the line how many of you guys finished a degree, and then how many of you guys have advanced degrees. I know a lot of people who have advanced degrees and are not working in their field of study, and they went and got a master's, and I know a PhD making less than 40 grand a year, right? So you start to wonder if more college, higher degrees are even worth their weight, right? So Nakia says, no value, I have my bachelor's. All right, anybody else? I want this to be as interactive as possible, because what I'm going to give you is, I want you to look at college and judge its value based on the way it's being sold, right? I'm talking about, is college valuable? Should you send your children to college based on the way college is being sold? Now, I'm sending I got a son that graduates next week. He is going to college, right? So I don't want people to get it twisted that I'm bashing college and I'm trying to steer you away from college. No, I've got an 18-year-old that's going to college. Guess what? That is the 5th child that I've helped raise that I'm putting through college, right? So it's not that I'm saying college is not necessary. I'm trying to say, do we continue to make this choice based on how college is being sold, or do we look through the do we look through the sales and marketing of college and get down to the nitty gritty and make our decision based on that? Is that fair to say? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say, let's stop looking at college and making a choice based on how college is being sold to us. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of the real value of college and decide whether or not you want to spend 50, 60, 70, 80 grand on college based on this. So Cedric says master's in computer science, but didn't learn life skills. That's important. That's important. So let me and my man Alex says network technology degree. I got an associate's. Again, said yes, that's what we need to do. Okay, so here is my opinion on how college is being sold, and this is my argument with people. And I don't get into many arguments or discussions with people because the question is asked, "Oh, you must don't have a degree," and I don't. And that's kind of the point, is because I don't have a degree, I can't make a rational argument about whether or not something is valuable or not. That's what's so funny. So here's how college is being sold. Number one, it's being sold as a prerequisite to success, right? Joseph McKee says, I have an MBA and a doctoral coursework, right? Okay, so we've got some people on the line who's got some college degrees and even some advanced degrees, right? So number one, when you were making your decision to go to college, did you believe wholeheartedly the way it was sold and presented to you by parents, by counselors, by society at large, that college is the prerequisite to success? I think we can all agree that that's how college is being sold. Am I making sense to anybody? College, the number one way college is being sold is that college is the prerequisite to success. Everybody agree? All right, come on, y'all gotta be quick with the fingers, quick with the thumbs, right? Everybody agree. And I didn't give everybody their business shout outs. And then let me know the name of your business and or brand as well. I'm trying to keep the conversation. I did want to read Cedric Jenkins' comment. Just had this discussion with my oldest daughter Monday. She aspires to go to med school, but she understands and practicing entrepreneurship. So my message to her is to take what you learn and open up your own practice as an independent business owner instead of taking what you learn and working for someone else. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So college is being sold as a prerequisite to success. So all of our babies are saying, I've got to go to college because I'm going to be a failure in life if I don't. That's number one. So we're talking about looking at it objectively and having a rational discussion about how college is being packaged and sold to you. Just like if anything else was being packaged and sold to you, you would cut through all the BS, the marketing, and get to what's actually in the package, right? So it's being sold as a prerequisite to success. That's number one. Number two, it's being sold as a guarantee to get you a job or a career. Is that true? Yes or yes? Now, we know what the statistics say, but when someone presents to you the idea of going to college, isn't it implied that a college degree is going to get you off to a good job or career? Are we in agreement there? We know what the statistics say, but whenever somebody talks to you about going to college, you hear people talk to your children about the importance of going to college. It is always presented in this package: go to school so you can have a career, as if the degree is going to guarantee me a job and career. Right? That's number two. Number three, we're talking about, let's just get through how it's packaged and presented first, because if we can get through this, then we can start making more rational decisions about the best course of action. Because what we don't realize is we're asking 17, 18, 19-year-old kids to make a $100,000 debt decision when they don't even know what debt is. Or you understand? This is my argument. My argument is not from a bitter place because I don't have a degree. But we're asking children, 17, 18, 19 years old, to make a $100,000 debt decision, because you're going into some debt when you go and pursue that degree, right? Number three, this is the way it's being packaged and presented, right? And we're going to break down why it's being packaged and presented this way. Number three, it's presented as if a college education is the only education. Can we agree there? We're all in. I just want to know if we're in. Talisha, what's going on, Quinn? College is presented as if a college education is the only form of education. Can you guys agree there? That this is, we're going to break down how it's marketed, how it's socially presented, and why kids are making a decision that they don't really want to make, but they fear letting their parents down and all this kind of stuff, right? It's positioned as if college education is the only form of education, right? We know that's not true, but this is how college is being packaged, right? This is what your children are up against when they are trying to decide whether or not college is a fit for them, right? This is why most people go at least one semester, right? Now, it's also presented as if a college education is equal to knowledge, right? It's also presented as if a college education is equal to knowledge. We understand that knowledge and education are two different things, but it's presented as if college education is equal to knowledge. Education is a system by which you transfer knowledge. Knowledge is what you know primarily based on life's experiences or your experience with something, with some information, with the application of information. So college is presented as if it is that education is equal to knowledge. That's not. And then here's the one that really bugs me. It's presented as if a college education is superior to knowledge. Huh? Come on, think about that. You probably work a job right now because of your experience and your knowledge with the application of what you know, or better than your manager, his boss, and his boss. But because they think that a college education is superior to your knowledge, they get the big bucks. Right? So, this is where I'm coming from when I make this argument. That we have to cut through the fluff first and foremost. We got to get through the BS packaging and break down what college really is. At the end of the day, a college degree is a certificate. It is a certification that you completed coursework. College is a certification that you've completed a certain coursework and got a baseline of information. But we know that you don't have to spend $50,000 to $100,000 to get the baseline information in today's day and age. Now, here's what you have to understand when you're thinking about anything. You have to always, always, always follow the money. Who funds college education? For the most part, it is the government, right? The reason college education continues to increase in cost is because your financing to go to college is guaranteed. Anybody in America that wants to go to college can get a loan for college. Anybody that wants to go to college can get a loan for college. That means college people who own and run colleges understand that their fee is guaranteed. They understand that society puts so much pressure on people to go to college that they're going to have 15 million undergraduate students applying and attending their universities every single semester. $15 million people apply at college every semester, and the financing is guaranteed. Why do you think the government guarantees financing for you to go to college? Why do you also think that same government put laws in place that will never allow you to expunge your college debt, except for in certain situations? See, a government who gets the majority of its revenue from income tax has to ensure that they have enough people in the workforce to tax in the first place. See, some of y'all ain't never made this connection before. The government gets its revenue from income tax. One of the ways to ensure that you can enslave a person so that they're working is to entrap them in debt. School debt, house debt, car debt, the so-called American dream. When I have these debt obligations, I'll go to work to pay them off, And as I'm working, I'm paying income tax. So the funding source for all of this education is ensuring that their bets are covered. If you get into some debt, you want to pay it off because they're going to tell you can't get a house, all this kind of stuff with your student loan debt and your bad credit. So you've got to go and accept the job outside of your field of study so you can pay the loan back. Right? So let me get to some of your comments, and then I'm going to read. It says, yes, I was told I did not go to college. I would become homeless. After attending college, I became homeless due to debt. Wow. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. The package is presented with a degree. You're guaranteed the American dream. False narrative. Very true. Very true. We got some truths and some yeses. Absolutely. I work at a community college, and I'm constantly talking to students about this. Yes, only guaranteed is debt. Exactly. Ruined before you even start. Yep. Self-education is the best education. Yep. Got a bunch of people agreeing. Says you will retain information if based on what it is you want to know. Very, very true. It's also a catch-22. They also use it to say you are overqualified for jobs in your field. After you go get an advanced degree, now you got too much education. If I got too much education and I've got enough to have gone through college, don't you think I'm smart enough to only use the education that's needed to do this particular job? How can you have too much education? That's crazy. Yes, and college degree can't be filed under Chapter 7 bankruptcy laws. Exactly. A college declares society is already figured out. Yep, it's a debt trap. Just had this discussion with my oldest daughter. We did that one with Cedric already. Good morning. But can't get a business loan or a personal loan for life, right? So now that you understand the context from which I'm coming, let me also share with you a couple other reasons that you might want to rethink college. So I was just doing some research and looking up, and you guys know that statistics can be swayed anyway, but I just kind of want to share some things with you guys. So we talked about the way college is packaged and presented, why it's such a difficult choice for our children, and why they basically make our children feel obligated. And I'm going to give you some alternatives here in a second too. But number one is packaged as if it's a prerequisite for success. The reason most college graduates who can't find a job out of college go into depression is because they have been training themselves all this time that once I get this degree, woo, I'm going to be successful. And they find that not the case, and they mess around and end up working a job outside of their field. Now they slip into depression, and all sorts of things can creep in. It's crazy, right? It's sold as a guarantee that you'll get a job. It's sold as if the college education is the only form of education. It's sold as if college education is equal to knowledge. It's also sold as if college education is superior to knowledge. Let's look at this article that I read. Now, this is somebody's blog, so this is somebody like me who's just giving their opinion. But I found this interesting because as we look at now the way college is packaged, you can kind of see why some of these things are true. And I'm just going to read some of this quickly. If you want to go and read the full blog, it is the blog is called uncollege.org, right? Uncollege.org. So 10 reasons not to go to college, at least not yet. And this is my point. 10 reasons to not send your kids to college yet. If they want to go and specialize in something, we might, okay, but there's no rush. College ain't going nowhere, right? It says the cost of college has skyrocketed in most recent years, so it's absurdly overpriced or absurdly expensive. To this point, watch this. To this point, about the cost of college, See, I like to look at stats in a certain way, and I'm going to give you some numbers really quickly. It says, quick question. My mom put part of student loan in her name. Is that any way the account can be put in my name at this point? No, those are student loan, Parent Plus loans. Ask me how I know so much about Parent Plus loans. Again, I'm about to send child number 5 to college, right? My 4 sons have all attempted, right? Then I raised a cousin who has also helped him get into college and get through. So that's 4 that I've sent. 2 of them are graduating next week, right? The other 2 dropped out, and I'm about to send number 5 in the fall, right? So I'm not saying don't send your kids to college. I'm saying understand fully the game that's being played here, and definitely don't send your kid to college having them under the assumption that a college degree is going to guarantee them success, right? So watch this. The average cost of college from 1997 and 1998 for a public in-state school was about $3,500 per year. For an out-of-state school was about $8,000 per year, and for a private college was about $15,000 to $16,000 per year, right? Today, a college education at an in-state school is going to cost you a little over $10,000 per year. A out-of-state school, still a public school, is going to cost you a little over $25,000 per year. And a private school is going to cost you $40,000 per year. Now, I want you guys to remember these numbers. So it went from roughly $3,500 to $1,500 between in-state, out-of-state, and private. I mean, $15,000, $3,500 to $15,000. In-state, out-of-state, and private have all more than doubled. In-state today will cost you over $10,000. Out-of-state today will cost you over $25,000, and private schools will cost you over $40,000. 200% increase. You're right, Stephen Allen. Now watch this. Let me look at the same time period for income, median household income. And I'm going back a little further. 1985, median household income was just over $49,000. Today, 2000, I think this chart goes to, let me see, let me make sure I get it right. This chart goes through 2015, 2016. Median household income in 2015 was $59,000. Median household income in 2018 is $55,000. So you had a 10% increase in household income, which is a direct correlation to the salaries that people are being paid. It's costing you more, 200% more to get the college education, to get the jobs that has only paid or caused a 10% increase in median household income over roughly the same time period. So we're talking about, we have to really look at this stuff and determine whether a college degree, after you get through all the fluff, is it valuable? If anybody, at this point, we're all adults, but nobody told you as a child, when you were making that decision to go into that debt, the reason they want you to get something started is because they know that they can pressure you to finish once you get started. If someone would have told you before you went into the college debt that you're going to go in college, by the time you finish college, the cost of college is going to be 20% higher than when you started. But the amount of income that you're going to be able to make with this degree is only going to go up by 2%. So we have to understand the game that's being played And I'm not saying don't send your kids to college. I'm fully aware of the game that's being played. I got about $100,000 worth of student loan debt in my name for my kids. Joseph said, I would have gotten a trade instead, right? So let me give you some of the reasons that Uncollege says you should probably think about not sending your kids to college yet, right? It's absurdly expensive, especially for like my son who's graduating next week. No, my son is graduating tomorrow. We'll be in Kansas tomorrow, right? 6 years to get his degree because he did not know what he wanted to do in terms of what he wanted to study. So I spent 2 years of college money for him to figure out that he didn't want to do what he was originally studying to do. Then I had to spend 4 more years of college money to finally get him to get a degree in business finance. What if he had been working a job somewhere for those 2 years to really kind of figure out what he wanted to do, and then went and said, okay, Dad, now I know, let me go ahead and get into this school and get this business finance degree, right? You mistakenly think it will prepare you for career success. Again, that goes back to how it's being packaged and sold. Getting a degree is not equal to getting a job, but that's what they tell you. New York Times calls recent college graduates Generation Limbo. More than 44% of college graduates under the age of 25 are either unemployed or underemployed, which means they were forced to take jobs outside of their career field, outside of their field of study. Why? Because the debt says, man, Sally Mae is calling me the day after I graduated. I got these resumes out there and I'm not getting a job in the field that I want, but I got to take a job to start paying these loans back. Got me a car right out of college. Now I got a car debt. I got to start paying for this stuff. So I got to take any old job I can get. Right? Everyone else is doing that. That goes with the societal pressures. See, when you think about it, 15 million students enroll in college each year. That means more people have bachelor's degrees, so that makes your bachelor degree less valuable. That's why companies don't have to pay you more to have a bachelor's degree. In fact, if you have a bachelor's degree, a lot of call centers and places like that are saying you need a bachelor's degree to pick up the phone and read a script 100 times a day. Are you kidding me? Says everything you learned is important. Those 2 years were not wasted. He learned something. That is correct. He did learn something, but I didn't have to pay $40,000 for him to learn in those first 2 years. He could have learned that for free, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't send your kids to college. I'm saying you might want to think about when the best time for them to go to college. Most of us are sending kids to college and we know for a fact they ain't ready to be out on their own and be responsible and disciplined enough to get through college. I knew that for a fact for my son, my third son that I said, I knew that for a fact for him. He wasn't disciplined enough to get through. But I wanted him to have that experience because he aspired. What he wanted was the experience. I knew that's what he wanted. I knew he didn't want the degree. He wanted the experience. So I'm good with paying $40,000 for him to get the experience of college. I don't have a problem with that. There are enormous amounts of people with PhDs or jobless or grossly underpaid. That's fact. So now that everybody else is getting the college degree, then your college degree becomes less valuable. So now you have to go get the master's degree, right? Says a college degree is important. Better safe than sorry. Have it just in case you need instead of needing it and not having it. See, I think you might have missed the first part of the argument. It's not whether or not you get a college degree. It's whether or not you understand the game that's being played. That's what I'm trying to get across. I want you to understand that the way they sell you college is not what you get. It's like if I told you I was going to give you product X, Y, and Z, and you finally paid for product X, Y, and Z, and you got home 4 years later and you finally opened the box, and what's in the box was not what I told you, you'd be flipping mad. Well, when you get the college degree after 4 years, you open that box. What's in the box is not what you were sold 4 years prior. It's not what you were sold all your life growing up. This is not a bash on a college degree. This is more a bash on the system in place that encourages you to get a college degree when it's in the way they sell college to you. If I sold a product or a service the way that college is sold to people, the Better Business Bureau would have me shut down. Do you guys agree with that? If I sold products and services with all of the false disclaimers and things, the way that college is sold, if I'm a regular business person, not backed by the government, if I sold a product or service the way that college is sold to you, the way that college is sold to your children, the Better Business Bureau would have me shut down. Right? Right? Yeah, you need to have a plan and be willing to network. Most students are head down in their books. They forget to chase the professionalism. Yeah, there's a lot of things that, because high school don't really prepare kids for that. Families really don't prepare kids for the power in networking and understanding that you're about to be immersed into a community of people where there are people from all over the world. Right? See, a degree isn't a job. It's designed to open paths. It's not tangible unless you understand that you have to apply it while acquiring it. That is very true. That is very true. Here's number 6. Here's a good one. Here's a good one to think about. Here's a good one to think about. Number 6 says, you haven't seriously explored any other options. I want you to think about this from your kid's perspective, and even from your perspective when you were growing up. Did you really explore any other options, or was college the only option put on the table by your parents? You haven't seriously explored any other options. This is one of my arguments. We said that way college is being packaged as if a college education is the only education. And when they package it that way, kids do not even explore other options. They just go. Society says I got to go, says I'm going to be successful, says I'm going to get a job based on having a degree, and I'm just going without exploring any other options. Then when you get the degree, one of the first things that they're going to ask you for to go get the job is how much experience you have. I don't have no experience because I've been in college the last 4 or 5 years. Right? Let me give you another option that is not talked about, that outside of getting a trade. We all know that getting a trade could change somebody's life because you would have experience by the time. So if I had a trade at 17 and you went to college for 4 years and I exercised my trade for 4 years, I have 4 years experience and very little debt to your inexperience and potentially $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 worth of debt. Right? But watch this. Watch this. Let me just throw this out there. A kid with some parents who are very open-minded, some parents who understand having your children explore another option. A lot of kids get their first job at 16, first job in fast food at 16. So that means they got 2 years experience before they even graduate high school. And if you're working fast food and you understand this is an option for a career path, this is an option for entrepreneurship, this is an option for you to even become an owner, operator of this restaurant, now you work this job with a different level of intensity. In fast food, in 2 years, you can become a manager. Is that right? Yes or yes? From 16 to 18, working fast food, because the turnover is so high, you can learn everything you need to know about a particular fast food restaurant and become a manager and running that restaurant in 2 years. So before I graduate high school, I'm in a management position. If I stayed on at that fast food restaurant and maybe I took a class on management and paid a la carte for that class. I might pay $200-300 per semester for management classes to help me become a better manager, but I'm still working that fast food restaurant and I'm working that corporate system for the next 4 years while you're in college. I'm already got management experience. By I add 2 more years to that, now by the time you're a sophomore in college, I'm a district manager. I manage 4, 5, 6 stores. By the time you graduate college with a degree, I'm an owner operator in 6 years because I started at 16 with looking at this as a completely different option. Somebody told me that working fast food is more than flipping burgers. Somebody told me that working fast food could lead to me owning a McDonald's, a Wendy's, a Burger King. So in 6 years of intense effort from sophomore in high school to 22 years old, now I'm owner operator. But if you were only taught that college was the only option, now you've gone through college and get out after the same 6 years with no experience and in college debt. I'm not saying that college is bad. I'm saying the way college is sold is bad. So don't jump on me about whether or not you have a college degree or no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the way that college is packaged and sold as if our children do not have another choice, as if you didn't have another choice when you were 17, 18 years old making a $100,000 debt decision. That's why the post said, can we have a rational conversation about the value of college education? When you put it up against the way it's being sold and whether or not there are other options available, right? Who else backs and funds colleges? Corporations. The only reason you need a college degree to get some of these jobs offered by these corporations is because the corporation says so. I want you to really think about the job that you're doing right now. Did you or did you not get trained how to do that job when you got to that job? And could you have been trained to do that job with a high school diploma, or did you actually need a college degree? I want you to think about that. The job that you're doing now, when you got there, did they train you on everything you need to do that job? And with the knowledge you had out of high school, reading, writing, basic arithmetic, could you have still been trained to do that very job today without needing a college degree? You needed a college degree because that employer said this position requires a college degree. That helps keep this whole thing about how they're selling college to you. That helps keep it going. They're all in cahoots. Government, corporation, colleges. It's a trifecta. It's a trifecta. higher education needs to be reformed into an adult version. Montessori or Waldorf framework with an entrepreneurial focus. I definitely think it should have an entrepreneurial focus. All right, says you always have to play all sides in your life. That example of working at a fast food was perfect. Nothing wrong with working as long as you're working your way up. You can go to school anytime in life. I agree. I believe trade school should be sold the same way as a college degree. It absolutely should. It absolutely should be sold the same way. But it actually has a better upside to me, because a trade school, in most cases, you get hands-on training and experience all while you're going through the trade school. So I agree with you. College is not bad. The way it is sold is bad. Yep. That's what happened with all my friends. I was the only one that did not go to college. I got my what does that say? Interpreting certification. I completed my ITP. Started my business. No debt. Yeah, there's some pros and cons, and I'm not saying it says neither parent went to college. I made all decisions regarding my higher education. And Joseph, the way it was sold to you, if it was sold to you a little bit differently, would you have made a different decision? I believe you already said you probably would have gotten a trade, right? That's all we're talking about, man. Much better. If I would have known about taxes at 18, I could just imagine. Right. So there's a lot of different things and different places that we could be. It's not a choice between attending college and working at McDonald's, right? That's what a lot of people think. It's not a choice. If you don't go to college, you're going to end up working at McDonald's. If you don't go to college, you're going to be homeless, right? Somebody said that in the chat. If I didn't go to college, I was told I would be homeless. They went and got a degree and end up homeless after getting the degree because of the debt, right? Most people learn more outside of the classroom than inside of the classroom. That is also very true, right? There's an incredible increasing amount of resources available for free, right? Which is also true. Curating your own education can be cheaper and more meaningful, right? So these are some reasons not to go to college yet, but you might need a college degree once you figure out what you want to do. I wouldn't want a surgeon working on me who was not certified. I'm not saying college has no place. What I'm saying, the way college is packaged. Says I would have invested my refund checks and paid back the loans with their money. Right. Some different things, guys. So this wasn't a college bash. This was a look at the way college is being packaged and presented as if it's the only option. And we know a lot of people who don't have the college degrees and they're doing well for themselves because they just chose a different path. And a lot of them chose different paths after they spent 2 or 3 years in college. What if they could have chosen the same path or ended up on the same path without $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of debt? In college, only to figure out that college ain't for you. Well, what if somebody could have helped me figure out that college wasn't for me before I even went? So I appreciate all the chimes. I'm going to figure out how I can randomize. Pam says, I go to YouTube University every day. You ain't the only one. Right? I'm going to figure out how I can randomize, and there will be some sort of drawing, and somebody will win a complimentary trip on behalf of the Financial Health Mentor. And I will shoot you some information. I'll let you guys know how that's going to work. So I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Is this a good conversation to have? Should this conversation be a more public conversation, weighing all options from both sides objectively and not getting in our feelings? I'm not in my feelings because you got a college degree. I know some people with some degrees. My sister does very well for herself as a psychologist with a master's degree. I'm not, like I said, I've got 2 boys graduating, one tomorrow and one next week. And then I got one graduating high school and he's going to college to be an engineer, right? He's going to engineering school. So, but what I want you to really start doing is understanding how this whole thing is set up to put you into a position that will have you pretty much working a job almost all your life if you don't have a mental switch, if you don't know what's going on. I'm not worried about the way my children are going to school and the debt that they're going to get into, because as an entrepreneur, as a wealth strategist, I understand how to overcome that stuff, right? But if I didn't understand how to overcome that stuff, I'd probably be encouraging them to take some different paths. I probably would have had them all in trade schools. So I got 5 sons. I could have had all of them come out of a trade school with a different discipline: HVAC, electric, plumbing, design, engineering, and we could have started a engineering firm or a construction company, right? So I'm just saying, we just got to start having the discussions from an objective perspective and not letting our opinions be swayed by that of larger society that says if you don't go to college, you're going to be dead, or you're going to be dead broke. But what if everybody on the planet had a college degree? The way they push it is they push college on everybody. What if everybody had a college degree? Then the college degree wouldn't be valuable, right? What if everybody had a master's degree the way they're trying to sell everybody on a master's degree? So you just got to think. So I will be having the discussion this evening. Gotcha. Yeah, it wouldn't have no value. So that's my 2 cents, man. And like I said, man, my whole point is I have these conversations with myself. You guys just get to witness out loud. So that's what it's all about. Not being afraid to at least have the discussion, right? That's all, man. I'm a free thinker. And I kind of try to form my own opinions based on my own independent research. But I could be swayed. You guys have some very great insight to add, even those who disagree. And I don't have a problem with that, right? It's all about knowing what your options are, but you have to understand how those options are presented. That's my whole point. That sums it up, Cedric Jenkins. Appreciate that, brother. So I'm your man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. More importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every one of you. Peace out, y'all.